Hello, world history. Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone had a restful and relaxing Memorial Day weekend. Can you believe we are almost at the end of the year? So today you have your last assignment for quarter 4. That's right, your last assignment for quarter 4. But that doesn't mean we're done yet. So on Thursday, I'm going to be posting directions for your final project, which you will be doing instead of a final exam. Don't worry, the project is going to be very straightforward. I think you all will enjoy it quite a bit, but more on that later. Today, you are going to be wrapping up our discussion of the Black Plague. So you're going to have to refer to the sourcing chart that you did last week in order to do these reflection questions that I have assigned for today. Let's take a look. So last week, I asked you to complete this assignment comparing two different documents on the Black Plague. They're both primary sources, one from the University of Paris and the other one from Ibn al-Wardi. So I'm going to show you all the answer key to this assignment because that is going to be extremely helpful with doing these reflection questions today. So here's the answer key for the Black Plague sourcing chart. Keep in mind that this is a guide for answers that you should have. It doesn't mean that you have to have exactly the same answers that I do, but author and when it was created, you should probably have what's here. So the first question, who wrote the document? For document A, it was written by professors at the University of Paris. Document B was written by Muslim scholar Ibn al-Wardi. Document A and document B were both written in 1348. One was written at the University of Paris, and the other one was likely written in Syria, but that is an inference, and we don't really know for sure based on what the information we have been given says. Why was this document written? For document A, probably to provide advice about where the plague came from and how to avoid getting it. Document B described the effects of the plague in the city of Aleppo, which is in Syria. According to document A, the plague began in India. Document B said it began in the land of darkness. Now, this could be a religious interpretation that it is some kind of evil force that was brought on by God. The land of darkness historically is also coded language for a land where darker skinned people live. So you can take that either way. And number 5, according to this document, what did the author say that people should do to either avoid getting the plague or to treat it? Document A was more about prevention and said that people should burn certain plants to protect themselves from the air, should not eat cold, moist, watery food, and not to go out at night. Document B was more about treatment for the plague and recommended that people that were affected by the plague eat dried and sour foods, put clay on the sores or the buboes that they had from the disease, and to burn wax and wood to try to purify the air. I'm going to include this as an attachment on this announcement so that you can look at this more yourself if you need to. For today's assignment, you are going to be using that sourcing chart to answer 5 reflection questions. Make sure that you are writing incomplete sentences for this assignment. I know you didn't have to for the sourcing chart, but for this, complete sentences, please. So number 1, give me 2 similarities between documents A and B. Go back to your sourcing chart. Look at why they were written, when they were written, the advice that these documents give. Give me 2 differences between documents A and B. Do you think people who lived during the Black Plague trusted these documents? Why or why not? This is not whether or not you trust the documents as a historian in 2020. This is about whether people who lived in 1348 would have trusted these documents. So try to get yourself in the mindset the best you can of somebody who was looking for advice on what to do about the Black Plague. Your 4th question, list 2 to 3 questions you still have about the Black Plague. And no, you may not write, I do not have any questions. I still have questions. So I'm sure that you can come up with questions as well. What else would you want to know about the Black Plague, especially as we're living through the pandemic of our time? looking to the past can be a very important thing to do. So think about what's happening in the world today, what happened then, and the questions that you can come up with from that. And then finally, tell me what types of documents or sources might you use to answer those questions. Please be as specific as you can. Don't just say a book, online. We know that. More specifically, what would you look up online? What terms would you look up? What types of books might you look at? Primary sources, secondary sources. I'm available until 4 o'clock today for individual Zoom meetings. I will include a link for that as well. If you would like to meet with me on Zoom, please just send me a quick email or a remind chat telling me to get on because I am going through grades today to update everything for the end of the fourth quarter. So I'm not going to be actively on it unless you tell me you need to meet with me. So just let me know and I will hop on straight away. That brings me to my last point. I will be, as I said, updating grades today for quarter 4. So at that point, I will send out an announcement saying that the grades for your class have been updated, and I'll ask you to go through and make sure that everything's up to date, especially if you have late work. Go through and make sure that you don't have any missing assignments or any assignments that you did turn in late are accounted for. As always, if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. And we are in the home stretch, so let's finish strong, guys.